I'm back with another reaction video for you guys today. This one is going to be an MJV video. I swore I saw this video before, like something about the title, I swore I've seen it before, but I know it's been in my suggestion folder for a long time now, so maybe that's why I keep seeing it, but maybe I haven't actually watched it yet, I don't know. But apparently it's not on my channel, so that's all that matters. If it's not there, I'll react to it. So yeah, something went wrong with my heart transplant, MJV Animations. I have not seen an MJV video in a little bit. I think he's still called MJV Animations. Some YouTubers have changed their names, and I'm like, wait, what? What's their name now? Like Wanzy Reacts or Wanzy Animations, I think it's called now. I don't think it's called Wanzy Entertainment anymore. So, or Wanzy, I don't know how you pronounce it. Whatever, Wanzy, I don't care. Yeah, this one's gonna be an MJV video. It's about 10 minutes long. Something went wrong with my heart transplant, which honestly, having a heart transplant and all is very scary, very dangerous procedure. But if it's needed, then it's needed. If you're gonna die without it, then you might as well die risking it. If you're gonna die anyways, right? So might as well do that. But yeah, let's just see what went wrong with this heart transplant. Let's go, guys. Be sure to subscribe and turn on post notifications and comment down below if you guys want more MJV videos.
Not physically. I've always been afraid of my own shadow.
A weak heart?
It was unsurprising when the doctors told me my heart murmur wasn't just a heart murmur. A year of tests, a year of therapy, constant trips to the hospital, and I was finally told that it had all been for nothing. My poor weak heart wouldn't last till Christmas. It's a strange thing being told that you're dying. I didn't come to terms with it at first. I drank, and I spent my money. I did reckless, stupid things because I was so damn scared. Then I got the news that a young woman called Laura had been declared brain dead, and that I, the lucky chosen one, would be getting a brand new heart a week later.
That's awesome.
I drove to the hospital slowly.
Like, sucks for the girl that got brain dead.
And readied myself for the ordeal that was to come. As I was lying in bed on the last night, the thought of Laura swirled around in my head, and it wouldn't leave me alone. It was like her name was in flashing lights every time I closed my eyes. It was wrong. I know it was. But I had to see the woman who was giving me her heart. It didn't feel right not to put a face to the one who was saving my life.
Yeah, exactly.
I knew her name. I knew what ward she was staying on. I had overheard the two nurses discussing it. I wandered down the meandering hallways until I found what I was looking for, taking my time, making sure I didn't miss any name. I guess I had time on my hands now. In the second to last room, she lay in bed. A woman sat on the bed next to her, holding her hand, and my own weak heart stuttered. Excuse me. I had no idea what to say to her. I'm Jenna. I'm the person. I'm having surgery tomorrow, and... What I assumed was Laura's mother stood up, and I could tell from the look in her eye that she knew who I was. Thank you for visiting. I know it's strange, but a part of her is going to be living on in you. I wanted to meet you. I stood there, helpless and lost for words. Laura's mother beckoned me over. Please, she said. Don't feel uncomfortable. It's what she would have wanted. I sat on the chair next to Laura. How did she... I broke off. It was too awful to ask. Laura's mother gave me a thin smile. She was a care worker, looked after battered wives, abused women. Last month she met a guy and, well, I suppose years of training can't help you when you're in love. She ignored the warning signs, and he killed her. She dedicated her life to those who needed her. Laura's mother looked down. I don't know why I did it, but I reached over and held Laura's hand. I squeezed it. I'm so sorry. I had a boyfriend once who... He was like that too. Someone like Laura convinced me to leave. Laura's mother gave me another half smile. I could see the tears in her eyes. Then Laura squeezed my hand, tightly. She gripped me so hard that her fingernails dug into my skin. I recoiled, a look of horror on my face. Laura's mother looked at me calmly. She squeezes my hand sometimes as well. I think the doctors called it muscle spasms. Either way, there's none of Laura left in there anymore. I looked at the small crescent moons that had just started to bleed on the palm of my hand.
That you started bleeding? Jeez.
The surgery went perfectly. I was wheeled to the recovery suite after it was over and done with. the raised wound on my chest covered by gauze. It was better if I didn't see it, I thought. I didn't need any more heart issues. I spent the first day doped up on the pain
MJV General
medication,
Hospital.
eating only a little and sitting up maybe 2 times. It was a long process, they reassured me. Laura's mother came to visit me the day before I was due to leave. Her calm demeanor hadn't wavered, but I could see that she was suffering. She looked 10 years older, and her hand shook when she gave me a hug. When are you going home? Tomorrow, I told her. Please, come visit whenever you want. I started to jot down my address.
Like she seems nice, but also a bit sus.
A flash of blonde disappeared through the doorway. The same brilliant blonde as Laura's hair.
Oh no.
Ow! I cried out suddenly. It felt like someone had sharply squeezed my hand so hard it had almost crushed the bones. Laura's mother rushed to my side, a look of concern in her eyes.
The fuck?
What's wrong? Is it your heart? She stumbled over the last words, coming to terms with what she had said. I tried to reassure her and said I'd let the doctors know, and she left with a look of worry on her face.
Is it bleeding again?
When I
Oh
looked
wow.
down, a new set of crescent fingernail marks were below the ones that Laura's had made. 10 identical bleeding smiles. The taxi ride home was short, and before I knew it, I was back in my own flat.
It's like she's haunted by Laura because she took her
It felt strange to
heart.
try and slot back into where I had left off. My life had been almost over the last time I had been here. I looked over the mess and the cardboard boxes, the remnants of one night where I had tearfully tried to pack and store my belongings so my parents wouldn't have to do it when I died. Laura's heart beat so strongly, it felt like it would come out of my chest. It did this all the time, and I realized this was what a healthy heart must feel like. So why couldn't I shake my feelings of unease? That night, I had a dream. Laura was in her hospital bed, and her mother was gone. I could hear my heart, Laura's heart, beating in my eardrums so loudly it was painful. I tried to cover them, but my hands were pinned to my sides.
What?
Some unexplainable force was moving towards the motionless figure of Laura on the bed. Her lips were blue, and the window had come open, whipping her blonde hair around her face. I was almost on top of her when her eyes flew open. They were milky white, the eyes of someone dead.
That's terrifying.
Get out, she rasped, her voice guttural. I could hear the heartbeat faster and faster, drumming until I thought I couldn't take it anymore. Then I woke up. The sound had been real. Laura's heart was so loud, it felt like it would rupture my eardrums, and I screamed in agony, trying to cover my ears.
There's no way it's that loud. Come on now.
It was useless. It was coming from some deep place inside me. I could feel it reverberating around the hollows of my chest. I stumbled out of bed, gasping for air, and tried to find my phone. I needed to call someone, anyone, an ambulance or my mom, anyone that would pick up. Get out! It was a faint whisper over the hammering thumbs of
It's
Laura's
like saying
heart.
get out of. It's like saying get Laura's heart
Sounded like it had been made by an animal.
out of the
And I
girl's
crawled
heart
to the
or out of the
door,
girl's chest.
down the hallway, choking on my screams for help. My neighbor opened the door, his eyes as wide as saucers at the sight of me on the floor clutching my chest. He drove me to the hospital as I cried in the passenger seat of his car. After about 50 different checkups, the doctors told me that absolutely nothing was wrong with me. They told me my heart was regular, my blood pressure was normal, and that everything was going just swimmingly. I stood in the waiting area, wallowing in my shame and frustration.
It's like
That
Laura
heart
basically saying,
didn't belong to me. The phone buzzed on the counter. An unknown number. Great. That was all I needed. More unexplained, scary things, like a stranger on the end of the phone. My voice sounded small on the line. Hello? Good morning. This is the Thames Valley Police. We've called to report an incident that occurred in your flat around 1:30 a.m. today. I felt a wave of embarrassment. I'm so sorry. I recently had surgery, and I wasn't feeling well. I had to have my neighbor drive me to the hospital, and I think I panicked a little in the hallway before I left. There was a small silence on the other end of the phone. I'm afraid this is something you might want to be sitting down for. I felt Laura's heartbeats, strong and calm. There was an incident of forced entry by Mr. Samuel Matthews. According to our police records, he's your ex-partner, and you filed a restraining order against him in September 2017. My blood ran cold. I did. He's in police custody. We found an automatic weapon on him, and we believe he had the intent to harm you. We have an officer currently stationed at your flat who can fill you in depending on how long your hospital stay will be. I thanked him and hung up the phone. For a moment, I leaned against the wall, the horror slowly spreading over me. If I had been in my flat 10 minutes later, he would have found me. Laura's heartbeats filled my ears again, but now they were gentle, calming. Her mother said she dedicated every part of her to helping those who needed it. I put both my hands on my chest, overwhelmed by my own gratitude, and listened to Laura.
So in a sense, Laura saved her, because then if she wouldn't have had that happen to her, then she would have stayed home where the boyfriend would have killed her. So it's like Laura knew, so she woke her up, heart beating fast, you know what I mean, just so she would go to the hospital to not be in the apartment. That's crazy. Because at first it was saying get out, like as if, yeah, I'm so confused because it was saying as if Laura didn't want her heart inside that girl. I forgot the main girl's name, but I think I thought Laura was like pissed that her heart was not in her anymore and that it was in the other girl. And that's why she was having nightmares. That's why she had the things, and unless this was like a warning sign for some reason. Which I don't see how that would be a warning sign about a guy coming to kill her in a night or two. But her waking up with like chest stuff like that, it's like Laura was controlling her heart still. But she was brain dead. You can't, like, you're brain dead, you can't do anything. Plus it's not in your body, you can't really make it do something. But that's just so creepy how, like, it's like she had control over her own heart, making it beat faster just so she would go to the hospital, just so she would be safe, which is insane. That's crazy. Yeah, it's just like she knew that that was going to happen, and then she made her heart do that just to make her go to the hospital. That's fucking insane. That sounds impossible, but, you know, I guess stuff is possible. I guess anything is possible, like they say. If you guys want to see more MJV videos, please let me know in the comments below. Also let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of this video. Do you guys, like, what do you guys think happened there? Like, how do you think is that she channeled the girl? How do you think Laura channeled the girl to basically tell her that the wife was gonna come kill her and that she had to get out? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below, and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on post notifications as well, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, thanks for watching, deuces.